All right, tail horn salute. Alpha Bravo, Charlie Delta, Alpha Bravo, Charlie. Going on, guys. My equipment's like the shit I had in the Army. Broken radios, broken machine guns, broken. Good, but I'm doing these Vietnam flashbacks. I've got this Army channel. I've done some stories on my experiences, but I want to pay tribute to guys who were before us. And this is forgotten history now. These guys are dying. Our grandparents fought in World War II. Our fathers fought in Vietnam. We served during the Cold War, and I can't tell you much on this war on terror because I've been left out of the loop for so long. Let's go back in time a little bit. I grew up with Walter Cronkite.
3 months ago, the 1st Air Cavalry Division shipped out from Charleston, South Carolina. Young men trained in a new concept of war. Proud.
There's your first casualties of Vietnam. We're going to war in November 1965, just right before the holidays. Happy Thanksgiving, Mother. Your son is dead.
Last week, some of them came home.
Vietnam, they dead. Right there. Dead as fuck, man.
Their lives were the price of victory in the Battle of Drang Valley.
They didn't want us to see this in the Desert War. Here it is, Vietnam. Live, Walter Cronkite. Look at all them bodies.
CBS News correspondent Morley Safer was there.
This is where it all began, the Special Forces camp at Playmay. On the night of October 19th, at 11 p.m., the first mortar rounds fell. At the beginning, it was simply another guerrilla attack and a brave stand by a few Americans and 350 Montagnard strikers. But then command decisions were made, almost by accident, that turned the battle for Playmay into the campaign for not only the Highlands, but perhaps all of Vietnam.
The Battle of Drang Valley.
Now, I worked with a guy at a mall. He didn't say much. He just said he was at the Drang, and I took his word for it.
By Walter Cronkite.
Good evening. Just 6 days ago, the people of America were jolted by an announcement. Our casualties in Vietnam in a single week had exceeded the average weekly rate of dead and wounded in the Korean War. 240 Americans killed, 470 wounded. If the American public had not known until then, they know now. The United States is indeed at war. A full-dress war against a formidable
was an enemy sanctuary.
Most of these casualties were suffered in the Battle of Drang Valley, the biggest, the costliest, the most significant yet fought by American troops in Vietnam. To report on this story, CBS News has brought home its Vietnam correspondent, Morley Safer. His coverage of the battle is only the latest in a distinguished series of war reports he sent to us during the past year. Reports that have set a new standard for war reporting in the age of television. Morley?
Thank you, Walter. Playmay and the weeks that followed have emphasized one single point about our commitment in Vietnam that will be re-emphasized in weeks, months, and perhaps years to come. That we are at war not only with the Viet Cong of South Vietnam, but with North Vietnam and its strong and dedicated army. It's in the nature of the conflict that formal declarations are not necessary. Ahead lie even higher casualties, a point that every GI and every general in Vietnam is acutely aware of, a point that many feel has not been fully grasped at home. In this broadcast, we will not try to give the order of battle. There was none. What we will try to do is give the mood and feel of those 5 weeks. It all started at Playmay. It was almost by accident. It looked at first like a routine Viet Cong attack on this routine Special Forces camp, a triangular-shaped outpost in the Central Highlands, held by a handful of American advisors.
His commanding officer later declared, "The scriptures say there is no greater love than to lay down your life for your friends." This is what Calvin did in that fire-filled jungle. Colonel Harold Moore. As the survivors prepared to evacuate, the North Vietnamese army attacked again.
Men began to fall all around me as snipers picked them off like flies. There was no place to hide in the grass as the rifle and mortar fire intensified and engulfed the entire column. Everywhere you looked, someone was wounded or dead. Never did I expect to see bodies of the NVA and American soldiers so close together.
And finally, Colonel Moore looked at the Air Force liaison, Lieutenant Charlie Hastings. Moore looks at him and says, "Call Broken Arrow." Broken Arrow was a code at that time, meant that an American unit was in dire danger of being overrun and wiped out. And when that call was given, every available fighter bomber in Vietnam diverted to that place to deliver their bombs. About then that I heard Colonel Moore yelling, "Get him off of us, Charlie! Get him off of us! Call that SOB off!" And I looked up, and there are two F-100 Super Sabre jets like this. They're coming directly at us. Plane has already punched the pickle switch and will turn loose canisters of napalm. Hal was trying to stop the second guy from dumping his on us.
Here we are today.
You're looking at Two Prong Mountain over there. This is LZ X-ray. A long time ago, this was where Americans first landed and fought with North Vietnamese soldiers. This clearing right here. And I'm actually pretty close. They were actually further. I think they were further back there. But this is a sensitive area. I'm not supposed to be here right now. So that's why I can't go all the way down. But Mike, this is it. This should be LZ X-ray. If it isn't, I apologize from the bottom of my heart, but I think this is it.
All right. I was born in October 64. Drang happened in November 65, so I was just a year old and a month. This shit was always on TV when I grew up. Walter Cronkite was pretty standard. I just wanted to show, this is Veterans Day. Just a little tribute here, throwback. Man, this shit was like yesterday now. This is what the Drang Valley looks like today. I'm bootlegging a lot of shit. There's a lot of videos out there, including a movie. Out there now done by some actor that was a car driver from Australia. Can't remember his name off the, sorry, can't remember that guy's name. I think he beat up some girlfriend or something in Hollywood at one time. Either way, there was a movie made. They've even renamed Fort Benning after this guy, the leader here at this place in Drang. That's that new name change. To me, it'd always be Fort Benning. But no, these guys are trained in the new helicopter warfare thing. These brand new Hueys, they put it to test here. It always seems the Army wants to go to war right before a holiday. Let's kill your family right before Thanksgiving and Christmas. Happy holidays, family. Oh, here's a check for your loved one. Like, it's really going to bring them back. But just a little throwback here. I want to try to find next maybe Doc Toe. See, this is November 65, but in November 1967, the 173rd went up a hill at Doc Toe and got their asses handed to them. They won the battle, but 150 dead, 50 killed in a friendly fire thing, which it was just ugly. It was just ugly. So here we are, Veterans Day. A little throwback here. Here's the battlefield, actually, if you pay enough money, you can go see these places now. They're pretty open to tourists. You know, they like that money. So hit that like and subscribe, vets. Thanks for watching.